Good morning, good evening, good night. Just hello in general to all my fellow Whovians and Doctor Who fans. I know I've not made a video like this in a long time, or just in general, but one of the very first videos on my channel is a podcast, which it was an introduction, and I never got around to doing anything with it. This isn't me reviving it, this is me doing something like that to almost, not necessarily jump on the bandwagon, but to basically give you guys information, because the BBC aren't giving us a lot, but I'm not attacking the BBC. So with all that said, hope you enjoy. Revolution of the Daleks, the Doctor Who festive special, arriving rather early 2021 or late 2020. The presumed air dates for these are rather Christmas 2020 or New Year's Day 2021, as that is the tradition for Doctor Who. Our most likely air date is probably January 1st, 2021, sticking with the Chibnall rules. Unfortunately, we don't know much about this story. We know it will feature Daleks, and like us, the Doctor is in lockdown, but in a prison with the Judoon.
What?
We know the companions are on Earth, with some side characters from Ascension of the Cybermen and the Timeless Children. We know they have a TARDIS disguised as a house. And we know we're getting a new Dalek design. But that's about it. Thankfully, due to them filming early, this was filmed pre-lockdown, so we definitely will be getting this. If you don't believe me, Mandip Gill, who plays Yasmin Khan in the series, has 100% confirmed it. And the filming dates took place between October. But again, that's about it. But what can we predict from this episode? What can we theorise and guess? We can guess, why is the Doctor in prison and the fugitive? Will there be a civil war with the Daleks? And most theorised by fans, including myself, will John Barrowman come back as Captain Jack Harkness? Probably one of the most beloved companions in the Who history. I suppose to say John Barrowman is probably the Tom Holland of the Doctor Who universe. He always gives us teases and can never keep anything secret. No. We saw him return in Series 12, Episode 5, Fugitive of the Judoon, where he only made a small cameo, but we all loved it. Me personally, I screamed the house down when he came back.
Tight it now. You missed me, right?
Also, towards the end of the episode, Jack left this for the Doctor, and I also think the fans.
Just tell her this. I'm gonna see her again. Maybe not soon. When she needs me, I'll be there.
Not gonna lie, it does remind me of this.
I gotta go. I gotta find the Doctor. I'll come back. I'm coming back.
You better be. More to prove this is that in a previous statement, John Barrowman said he had not worked with Jodie, nor met or interacted, but would love to. But in one of the behind the scenes Doctor Who challenges, he can be seen in the crowd and shouting Jodie's name thoroughly.
Go! Come on, Jodie! Jodie! She's giving! Jodie, drink water! Jodie, swallow! Hey! Jodie!
Now, why couldn't this have just been during filming Fugitive of the Judoon? I hear you scream at your keyboards. Well, first off, John Barrowman said it took them a day to film all his scenes. They were also filming in a building in Gloucestershire, nowhere near the BBC studios where this appears to be taking place. And even if they did rush John back to the BBC studios, I highly doubt that he would have had time to go and sit around and shout on Jodie, even though I do appreciate him shouting on Jodie. Noticeably as well, all the companions are wearing completely different outfits, apart from the 13th Doctor, which would make me think these must be their outfits for the special. Surely. And just before I stop rambling on about John Barrowman hopefully returning, there's also this photo which I find quite interesting. This is one of the promotional photos taken for the art cards and Series 12. Some of the outfit is noticeably different. The jacket is changed up a bit, and he is also wearing a darker shirt than shown in Fugitive. So what could this mean? Why would they change his outfit if he filmed everything in one day? And, of course, presuming photos, unless this is what he wears in Revolution of the Daleks. What I also find quite interesting is at the very, very end of Captain Jack's appearance in Fugitive of the Judoon, he is whizzed away by nanogenes.
Oh, they are coming for me, always the nanogenes. Ah!
He is said to have stolen a ship.
I guess they want their ship back.
Well, this ain't no ship. You think I choose this look? Doesn't even have a bar.
And that he's being attacked.
Oh, ship security is fighting back. You gotta be kidding me. Anti-theft attack system. Oh, well, now I'm offended.
We just see him teleport away.
Tell her. You've lost him.
But what if he was sent to the same prison as the Doctor was sent to? I mean, Jack's committed a number of crimes. Surely he belongs in one of the most secure prisons, where the Doctor is. I feel like this could work out really interesting. As we could see the Doctor, I don't know, going for lunch or something, like one of the prison canteens you'd see in an old movie. The Doctor gets her lunch, she walks around, and she instantly recognises Jack, goes to sit down, and they figure out a way to break out. Rather if it's via TARDIS or Vortex Manipulator. I would love to see that. As I previously mentioned, also tying in with the new Dalek design, will we get a Dalek Civil War? Now, we have seen examples of Dalek Civil Wars, for instance, Remembrance of the Daleks in the 1980s with Sylvester McCoy. And could it work and could it be adapted to 2020? Of course it could. Anything could. But I feel like this is a perfect idea which we've not properly had in New Who, and I feel like we could properly expand on this. For instance, we could have the Dalek Council from Day of the Daleks and Asylum of the Daleks. Or even, as many people have other theorised, we could have Davros come back. We could go back to Scarrow. Again, tying into the Civil War with Remembrance of the Daleks. Now, why am I saying this? Well, if you watched any other theorised video, or just looked at the photos I put on screen earlier, you'll have noticed the Doctor Who were filming back in October on the Clifton Suspension Bridge, I believe in Bristol. On this bridge, we saw a bunch of gold Daleks that we've seen before, the 2005 make, but with the 2008 Series 4 claw hand. A bunch of them rallied up against this new Dalek design, harking back to Resolution with the reconnaissance Dalek. If you look closely enough, the designs are incredibly similar, but that is because the reconnaissance Dalek in the 2019 special did base it, presumably, off that model. It's got a nice black colour over it, and it looks very almost metallic, and it does look like a weapon that would destroy you. But it would appear otherwise, as the Daleks seem to destroy it. And that's all there really is for photo-wise. And from what we've gathered, that's basically what we can get from this special. Hopefully we'll get some more teasers soon and some confirmation from the BBC, and hopefully a trailer. I do have to admit though, Chibnall's ears get a lot of raps. Like, if this was Stephen Moffat, half of the stuff would have been leaked by now. With stuff like the Master returning and Gallifrey being destroyed and the Doctor being the Timeless Child, and even Captain Jack coming back in Fugitive of the Judoon, everything's been so secret, and it's really nice. Even though promotion plays a big part into Doctor Who, it's nice to get a surprise. It's nice to be so shocked. Recently, Nicholas Brigg, who voices the Daleks and the majority of the monsters for Doctor Who since the 2005 reboot, recently gave an interview to the Radio Times, which he tried to keep stuff under wraps, but was very hard to. He said, "I'm having to be very cagey. It's already been filmed and I was on set for it. It certainly wasn't a single Dalek, and there were quite a few interesting challenges and some interesting location work as well." He also hinted the title itself will reflect the twisting nature of the story, basically sort of tying into the revolution of and overtaking. That's why I suggested the Dalek Parliament earlier. Before I read the rest of this article, I want to quickly ramble and say that in Resolution, there was an interesting quote that the reconnaissance Dalek says. He mentioned that the fleet will be summoned. That was his main goal.
Signal activation in 9 rels. The fleet shall be summoned.
To get the fleet to Earth. Thankfully, the Doctor and her team managed to cancel it out, but what if this is the team that the Dalek tried to summon? Or what if the new black reconnaissance Dalek is the one that it tried to summon, being the Dalek Parliament? Anyway, back to the articles. Briggs was very subtle with what he had to say, but what he did say was, all I can tell you is when the caption came up at the end of the last episode saying it was Revolution of the Daleks, that was news to me, because when I read it, it just had a code number on it, so I didn't know what it was called. It was a very opposed title. It fits perfectly, but not in the way that you'd think. I can see why they called it that. Like I said, Nicholas was very subtle with what he had to say, but what he did say was actually very clever in the way he told it. And what we've got from that is actually quite a big chunk of information taken into proportion. So I believe this article came out on the 1st of March, or around that time, after Timeless Children had just been aired. And Christian said, "You can't leave the Doctor there, on that cliffhanger." Well, we did. But rest assured, the Doctor and her friends will be back for a one-off extended special around Christmas and New Year. He added, "I don't know when they're going to put it on yet, otherwise we'd tell you. There will be Daleks, there will be exterminations, thrills, laughters, tears, you know, the usual. See at the end of the year." I also think this is rather interesting. He noted out a few things, saying that we're going to have a Christmas and New Year. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, again, we don't know, and Chris Chibnall doesn't know, but fingers crossed we do get an air date soon. I don't mind either one. I think it'd be really nice to have it for Christmas, but at the same time, I think it's really nice to have it in New Year. I don't think it'll affect the story in any way. He also said there will be tears and laughters. So, I meant to mention this earlier, but there's been a lot of theories saying we're going to get a companion departure, and I think this will happen. I definitely think we're going to lose rather Ryan or Graham, or both. The reason behind this is, Tosin Cole, the guy who plays Ryan, has got another American TV show which sort of overcasts with Doctor Who, and Bradley Walsh, who plays Graham, is a massive British icon who's got a lot of game shows and just TV shows on in general. I don't think either of them can make space for Doctor Who, and I feel like this would be a nice time for them to depart, and for them both to leave at the same time. It's a shame though, because I don't mean to sound very morbid when saying this, but with the whole Graham set up cancer, I was kind of hoping if he departs, I'd like, again, not meaning to sound horrible, I would have liked it if he departed dying from his cancer. Because that's been like little threads put, like, set up in a Woman Fell to Earth, and then mentioned in episodes like, "Can you hear me?" But anyway, I won't ramble on that for too long. And I think we're going to see loads of Dalek action. Like I said, destroying the other reconnaissance Dalek, and hopefully we'll get some stuff that we got in Resolution, because that was pretty sick, especially when the Dalek blows up the military base. One more article, which I've only just seen recently myself, is an interview with Mandip Gill suggesting that this could be left on a cliffhanger. It's all very secretive. I obviously know where it's left off, but it's so ambitious that it could go any which way. But with everything that's happening, I've put no pressure on them for an answer. Okay, so I definitely think she is sort of suggesting that this does get left on a cliffhanger. She's saying where this gets left off. And granted, the episode does have to end somewhere. Every episode has to left somewhere. But the way that she said it in this interview, I don't know, it just makes me feel like, especially when she says, this is so ambitious, and it could go any which way. And, of course, like she doesn't want to put any pressure on them because of lockdown. But saying that, would she be saying that if they just fly off together? Like, I feel like this is going to end somewhere. Personally, I have a theory, but I unfortunately don't think the theory is going to come true. Actually, I have two theories. One of the theories is for the cliffhanger. In the end of the Timeless Children, when the Doctor, well, not the Doctor, when Cole Shamus activates the particle weapon thing, the bomb that destroys all living life on Gallifrey. When he activates it, the Master screams to the Cybermen, saying, "In here now." I feel like he was running off together into a TARDIS, bringing the Cyber Gallifreyans into the TARDIS to dematerialise and fly off. The Doctor said in the TARDIS before Yaz grabbed her, if they get away, they could destroy entire universes. So I think at the very end of this, the Doctor's going to get some form of message that they're still out there, something like that. Or maybe the Daleks, maybe they should try to say they defeat the Daleks, but the Daleks still survive, and that could be the story arc for Series 13. And Chibnall has said he's got a 5-year plan, so he's got something going on. He's rattling our brains, and I feel like this is going to lead up to the 60th. My other theory is why the Doctor is in imprisonment and being called the Fugitive. The Judoon previously stated in Fugitive of the Judoon when her and Ruth run off together that all contracts will be fulfilled. I think the Judoon meant it, and they evidently did. But I managed to find an unscored version of Fugitive of the Judoon, and when Ruth is walking towards the glass to break it, there's like echoes, like of her past, and when she's walking towards it, there's like screams and gunshots. And of course she has Gat's gun, which she quote-unquote confiscated.
Follow the light, break the glass. Follow the light, break the glass.
Did she? Because, I mean, she might have done, but like, when we see Gat for the first time, and she speaks to Ruth's companion, who I can't remember the name of, he keeps the medal for sentimentality, and he said that he kept it for his honour in battle. And Gat said that when he tried to attack her, shame, we both had the same training. So, did they fight for some sort of war? And if so, did the Doctor break the laws in that war? Or did she, like, commit mass genocide? Something like that. Because if the Doctor's being put in one of the most important prisons in the universe for life sentence, then it's got to be big. Anyway, sorry for that ramble. That was just my little theories. Probably won't happen, but I just thought I'd express them. And to round things off, please take this with a pinch of salt, as this isn't exactly very reliable, as this did say that Billie Piper was returning as Rose Tyler for Timeless Children. Thank God that didn't happen. Anyway, this is the supposed cast list on IMDb, which, bear in mind, can be edited, but I thought I'd include it. So far on the cast list, it has Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor, Bradley Walsh as Graham O'Brien, Amanda Gill as Yasmin Khan, Tosin Cole as Ryan Sinclair, obviously. And the rest of the cast is supposedly John Barrowman as Captain Jack Harkness, fingers crossed, Nicholas Briggs as the Daleks, obviously, Gary O'Brien, Brian, I originally read it as Graham O'Brien, but no, it's Gary O'Brien, and he was previously in Doctor Who in Voyage of the Damned playing Vixen Slade. And Gilly Ruvid, I really don't want to butcher that, but I probably already have, and he's playing some form of airport traveller, so we might have stuff involving airports in Revolution of the Daleks. How interesting. Anyway, that's basically about all the information we have, or at least I have gathered for Revolution of the Daleks. I hope you enjoyed. This is rounded off to about a 20-minute video, so I hope it didn't bore you too much. If this was helpful, please let me know, and fingers crossed if I get any more news, I'll update this and try and make more of these type of videos. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, it really helps me out a lot, and I shall see you with a future video. Bye bye for now.